we'll get a microphone too.
I know you coached in the league against Kobe.
Yeah.
Outside of that, what kind of interactions have you had with him, maybe at basketball camps and things like that?
Yeah, the thing about the NBA, there's only 30 teams, and you play each other. In the West, you play everybody 4 times. East teams play the East teams 4 times, and in the West, same thing. So when I first got into the NBA, the first time I saw Kobe was when I first got to San Antonio. And we were just in the back tunnel there at the AT&T Arena, and he, unsolicited, he just walked up and said, "Coach, welcome to the league. I've always enjoyed watching your teams play." Never spoken to him before that. It's awful nice one. Didn't have to do that. And then when I got to Milwaukee, it seemed like every time we played, if you were to Google 2008, 2009 season, how many times Kobe just hit a cold-blooded ISO step back jumper. He could go 4 for 20, but still make the big shot. But it's the impact he had on young people. You know, people in this generation have no idea how good Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was, or Will Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson. So for them, it was either Michael or Kobe. But the fact that it's Kobe's one of the names tells you the impact he had on the generation of people. You know, as the years go on, 30 years from now, it'll be somebody else. It's always going to be somebody else. But Kobe's name will always be up there on the Mount Rushmore basketball. And I'm not talking about 1 of 5 in basketball. You got a lot of guys can be up there, but Kobe will be up there. Sad about his daughter too, isn't it? It's just sad. Makes today seem so insignificant.
Well,
I
basketball.
apologize for saying
No,
that.
that's fine, Coach. You mentioned just some of the things that maybe don't translate where you see it, with the shooting or the score, but defensively, what you guys did. I think they didn't crack 40 till the last couple of minutes. Just can you talk about the emphasis there and what you guys were able to accomplish?
Yeah, my staff does a great job of breaking film down. You know, we're very analytical in how we approach scout reports. They really work at it. So our kids knew the actions, and then it comes down to executing principles. You know, if you said a side ball screen, we have a call for that. It's a middle ball screen, it's another call. Throw the ball to the post, we guard it a certain way. So basketball offensively is a game of actions. You know, staggers, pin downs, cross screens, back screens, side ball screens, middle ball screens, post ups, what ISOs. It's just a myriad of actions. And so really, to be a good defensive team, you have to be able to adjust to what they're doing, and that's where scouting comes in. You know, we usually have a good idea, just like us. Teams do a great job of scouting us. You can tell how much they scout us by how they guard ball screens, or to defend the post, or bring help to certain areas. But our guys were well prepared today. The guy over there for South Florida is a really, really good coach. You know, before the season started, people forget they lost their best player. Not one of their best players. They lost their best player, Yetna. And they took Florida State down to the wire. They took Utah State to overtime. They were up 14 with 5 minutes to go against Memphis. They beat Connecticut. My hat's off to Brian for what he's done in a lot of adversity this year. But for our team, pleased with the win today, pleased with our effort, and we'll go get ready to play a tough game on Wednesday.
Coach, can you talk about what Marcus Sasser has meant to the team? 27 minutes tonight, dealing with some real life stuff himself. I mean, what does he mean?
Marcus had me at hello. I just thought he was a Cougar basketball player for what we do. He wasn't a ballyhoo guy. He wasn't one of these stars, whatever that means. But I knew he fit us. His feet are good. He's tough. There's not many 6-foot freshmen that weigh 200 pounds. So he's got a body that can absorb contact, but also repel. When Caleb hits a ball screen, it's like a twig snapping. Marcus hits the ball screen, he usually delivers a blow. And he's our best shooter. The way we shot today, I got to figure out how to get Marcus to shoot all the balls. You got to tell some guys that, okay, that's it. You're not taking another shot the rest of your career. Marcus and Caleb shooting all the rest of them, all right? I kid, but you're right. He was dealing with his own adversity. I got a long text from his dad yesterday morning, Marcus Sasser Sr. And Marcus was especially close to his great-grandmother, which would have been his father's mother, and she passed away. And so Marcus was a tough day for him yesterday. He got really emotional and had to leave practice. He got emotional tonight and had to leave the game. He was playing pretty good, and I had to take him out because he was. But to show you the kind of kids we have, they just really rallied. They really rallied around Marcus. They put their arms around him and loved him and said all the right things to him. And lo and behold, I asked him, "You want to go back in?" And he said he did. So we put him back in. But it's been a tough 24 hours for that young man.
Fabian, do you or have you ever lost confidence in your shot place in the fall?
Early in the season, I did. Probably after like the second miss, I probably wouldn't shoot it again. But Coach Sampson and my teammates always keep me confident on how if I miss a couple shots on it, I just keep shooting.
Back here, for Caleb or Fabian, obviously y'all grew up with Kobe, just, finding out as you're coming out of the game, what's your thoughts on losing a legend?
There's not really any words to explain it, but I know me growing up, elementary school, you throwing paper in the trash can, yelling Kobe, and just always, if he's playing, watching him on TV, so it's a big loss, but I know we can do it.
It's just eye-opening, and it just shows how anything happens, you just gotta take it day by day, be grateful for what you have every day.
Caleb, as Coach was talking about, just some of the things that you do when maybe offense is not there, just what's it like when you do have those moments as a team and you can kind of lean back and rely on what y'all do defensively and rebounding?
Yeah,
But just in terms of, if the way the season's gone and, maybe offensively it's just not there sometimes, but that you guys can lean on your defense when you need to.
Coach talks to us a lot about sometimes he feels that, which he's right, but sometimes we let our missed shots dictate how we play defense, and it just shows our maturity tonight. We didn't make a lot of shots, but we continue to defend. We just work on that every day in practice, and he emphasizes it every day.
Well said, young man.
That's the freshman answer.
Well said.
Oh, senior.
Well said. Senior answer. It's going up fast.
Coach, can you talk about DeJon and how he sort of developed this year? I think only one turnover today from the injury to now.
Yeah, proud of DeJon. I really am. He's had a lot of life adversity himself before he ever got here. And from the first day of practice, I'd say, sometimes kids don't know whether they're on foot or horseback. Well, there's another extreme to that when it came to him, But the thing that helps DeJon and helps me coach him is he's such a high character kid. when I say a good kid, I mean he is a great, great young man. And character matters. Can't have a championship team unless you have great character. Somebody asked me the strength of last year's championship team. I'd say they were great kids. Great kids, you don't have to worry about discipline problems. That means you're allowed to coach basketball and teach them about things that they need to know about. But the other night, he goes from having 7 turnovers to the night one, and his one was kind of dynamic because we were holding for one shot their possession, and he just didn't get off it. You know, and there's nothing there on the initial burst. He's got to move it. He just didn't. But he'll learn from that. But I thought that he really tried to get better tonight from the other night, and that's a tribute to his character.
Coach, in his senior year, Chris Harris, the development there of just what he's done, whether it's the improvement at the free throw line or just his presence down low. Can you just kind of what you've seen from him and just that kind of how those steps that he's taken?
Yeah, another high character kid. Tremendous young man. He only has 6 internship credits left to get his degree. He's basically graduated. So he'll graduate. He's a Houston kid with a degree from the University of Houston. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. He's the only person in his entire family to ever graduate from college. And a lot of people are quick to write kids off, talk about what they can't do. When I watch a kid play, I don't really focus on what he can't do. I focus on the areas I think we can help him with. And I felt like he was a kid that, I felt Chris was a kid we could help. And then when we got to know him and saw what kind of kid he was, now he's real quiet, unassuming, but his greatest strength is he's a giant inside. He's got a big heart. He's got an extremely big heart, and he has no ego. Those kids have a tendency to be winners. Instead of focusing on himself, and he was not brought up as a me kid, or nobody ever put pressure on him that you've got to do this or you've got to do that. I love his mama. I love his daddy. He's got so many things that he's gotten better at since he's been here. But Coach Alvin Brooks has done a really good job with him too. So Chris has been a godsend for this program. Right here.
Fabian, can you talk how you've seen the team, grow from early in the year to now, and can you sort of see or feel the difference?
The biggest difference from earlier in the year and now is that we started to listen to Coach and actually hear what he's saying, and just buying into a culture and trusting the system. Earlier in the year, we was young and didn't trust the system. We was hearing Coach, but we wasn't listening. But now we all starting to figure it out now, and we starting to realize Coach is right all the time. Most of the time.
My wife would fight you on that one.
Anything else for coach or student athletes? All right.